we're taking too many quick leaps, which I think humanity can leap in tech and like find out new stuff. That's the part that actually sits with me, right? Not whether any of it is good or bad, but just that nobody is really asking why. So there is this feeling that I get that almost every week, if not almost on a daily basis, is that something gets announced, and it's not that it's good or bad, but is that a year ago, I would have said that 15 years from now, right? However, it's already here. Now, nowadays you can watch like full concept videos of one of your favorite franchises, whether it's a Warcraft or a Starcraft. People can make things. You know, you think it's CGI, but it's completely made with AI. And obviously, you have websites like Hicksfield that have like a complete series, or they're building series up, which I will get to in a moment. But you also have just, you know, like scattered all over YouTube and such. And we usually were able to see the differences between AI and CGI, and there would be like a certain glance over those characters, or you would see them walk, right? And then you're like, that doesn't make sense. And then the next scene is kind of like they start like midway. That's all gone now. If you watched, if you watch it nowadays, you're like, oh wow, like, is it? I mean, you can see it, but it's getting better, and it's almost like it's progressively getting better like every week. And I don't know, like, that's legitimately like the part that gets me. You know, something that used to be made by like a full team of like 100 to 500 people is now made by either one person or a little small team. You know, they can put it together, they can prompt it, and that's that. You know, and that's the gap what I want to talk about in this video. So talking about Hicksfield for a sec, you got these series. It's called Hokum, and there are a bunch of other ones. And it's so fascinating to me that I sit there for 22 minutes trying to study it, right? And I think to myself, I think it's amazing that people can prompt these things, and you have like this AI thing working in the background and putting all of this together, and like all these things. And then I think they still have to stitch it together, or maybe it's like one huge video. I don't know. I haven't really played with that, but it's so fluent, you know. And sure, there are like still these little caveats where you can see that the mouth or like the audio doesn't really fit the character. They also got this one fake advertisement of a Viking on a scooter that's going through like battlefields and stuff. And there are like 2 or 3 scenes where you think that the audio should like sound like it's like in the wind or something, and it's fully clear. So those are those little things that still need some tinkering. But once they work that out, I mean, you can still see it, but I'm pretty sure that maybe within a year, or maybe within the next, let's say max 2 years, they can tinker that out, and it's like a solid animation CGI movie, whether it's 3D, whether it looks like it's grease pencil, or it looks like it's like it's done with puppets, or it's like stop motion. They tinkered it all out, and then one day, in the very near future, you're gonna sit there and you think to yourself, or maybe you're sitting in a cinema, you're like, is this made by a team or not? Or if they're not going to label it, let's say they're going to put an AI movie in the cinema, right? Are they going to label it as AI, or are they going to test people to see if people are walking out of it and be like, oh, this is amazing, I love this. And then later on you find out it was made by a team of 10 people who are just prompting things, and it cost them maybe $10,000 or something, but the movie made like 50 million. So that's crazy. And also on that part, I'm pretty sure that Hollywood is gonna anchor themselves within the AI in order to let a lot of people go. And I hate that because like all these people went to school, got their bachelor's degree, master's degree in animation, and they're being let go, replaced by AI because first of all, it's cheaper. Second of all, it works way faster than a human being. And thirdly, it speeds up production. And I'm scared that in the next couple of years, we're going to see a Spider-Man movie or an Avengers movie. And you think that it's done by like an entire team. And then by the end of the credits, you see something like AI assistant, AI prompter, AI engineer, or something like that, and then they're gonna say like this movie was made by I don't know this and this and this AI. I don't want to promote them. You're like, what? And then like all these people that have ever worked in animation who put their passion in it, their soul in it, they're no longer needed, right? So they have to reschool themselves into like a different in a different education, and that's sad. And I personally think that like it's a great help or assistant tool, but it should not fully replace humans. I think someone who mastered 3D art, whether it's grease pencil or stop motion or whatever brand you're in, that you can use it as an assistant when there's like something, let's say you wanted to do like a 360 camera, but you can't find the fluidity of it, that you ask AI like, hey, I want to do this. How am I going to do this? Then it explains it to you or it helps you with it. That's fine with me. That you have like 2 or 3 seconds of the animation being like looped around 360 or whatever you're trying to do, done by AI. You're like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. And then you can either reproduce it because you see maybe some things that you didn't like, or maybe you're like, no, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And then you can, you work further on into the thing. It should be an assistant. It should not fully replace people. And when I look at the world today in the tech industry, I see so many big companies. I'm not going to say names, but I think you guys can guess it. Where I see layoffs here, layoffs there, replaced by AI. We can cut our business in half, or we can cut our production in half because of AI, and etc. etc. In certain branches, it also backfires. I believe in Germany there was a factory that had replaced people by AI, and now they want people to return. Because AI kept screwing up because it's like still not working well or good enough. So, but they will tinker that out. Eventually, we will have like AI factories building cars, but will those cars actually work? And that's the question. And this is why I'm saying we always need a human eye, to keep an eye on AI, because that's really important. And I think that's the thing that people forget. It's nice to have, don't get me wrong, but it's, humans should always stay in control. And I think that's what's really important to me. Flying car or something. And I just think to myself, how is this even possible, right? Technology in planes are like advancing really quickly. The rockets, from SpaceX are, like they're flying and coming back, or like they're landing in the water and stuff. Like for me, when I put this all together, right, in like a little bag, I just think to myself, it's too. We're taking too many leaps. Or too quickly leaps. I guess that's what I want to say. We're taking too many quick leaps, which I think humanity can leap in tech and like find out new stuff. But some things just seem going too quick. Also with like AI, like how quickly it has developed from something very infant to like something now. Like I said in a different video, the first Will Smith spaghetti video to now Will Smith spaghetti video within a couple of years is insane. Now he actually looks like he's eating spaghetti. well, when the first ever video came out, it looked awful, right? It was really weird to look at. Even everything was like bubbling and like, I was like, Jesus, is that what AI can do? That's disgusting. It's gross. And now I'm like, is that AI or is it actually Will Smith eating spaghetti? So when we take that concept and we apply it to like other tech stuff, hybrid cars, uh, self-riding cars. I believe they're also busy with like self-riding taxis or like Ubers. It just boggles my mind, right? Or like I said, flying cars. So eventually we will get flying taxis. So then we need some sort of what, like some sort of license to fly, to for car flying, and then instead of like on the ground, we will have like freaking Star Wars, Star Trek, The Expanse stuff where we see like flying cars above us, so we can no longer see the sky. Instead of the blue sky, you only see like freaking like flying cars going up and down, in like busy cities. Holograms, they're also working on that. I mean, those VR glasses are getting more. Anyway, etc., etc. You guys get the point. And like I said, I think this is a really tough subject even to talk about in the way of alien technology, because I think at the moment you say alien tech, people are laughing at you. They're like, show me the proof. And that's the thing that kind of bothers me is I can see the leap in tech, but if it would give it a specific name, people are laughing at you, be like, oh, you watch too many series and movies, right? So that's why I'm very reluctant of actually naming it by its name, because I think there has to be something. Like I said, maybe they are here before us, and that's why they're like so far advanced. Or maybe a UFO is like a sentient thing. And maybe it's like an unknown species that is alive, but it's just made out of metal. Or maybe it is, or maybe other UFOs, that have different shapes are being manned by greys or other type of aliens or creatures, or and when you see like all these podcasts where people say like, oh yeah, I met a Nordic, or like I met a little gray, but they're like scouts and they're like robots, and like the Nordics are controlling them, and they have like those insects, I forgot the name of them, those insectoids, what were they called? I forgot the name of it, but or even lizards. So it's kind of like, it sounds like super sci-fi, but on the other hand, there's also a lot of people who come over really serious. It's just a really fascinating subject for me, and I hope, going towards the ending of the video, what I really hope, and I know this, like I said, gonna sound absurd for perhaps some of you, is like, it will be really scary and terrifying, but also a relief when, let's say, other countries will also, I believe Japan is also looking, or China is also looking to like give people files, but that they would also represent them, as in like, let's say Trump would like go live on TV and be like, look, this is a real alien. Then like they pop up, they're like, I don't know, like maybe these weird Shrek ears, like, like antennas or something, like antennas on their head. And then they would sit next to Trump or something. They were like black eyes or something, or I don't know, whatever. They had like a little jumpsuit on. It would be terrifying at first, but I think it's also something that people are like, finally, that they are showing us the reality that they were already here. I'm not sure how that would change society. I'm not sure how, because then if they are no longer secret and people know that they're here, what would they do? Would they integrate with us in society? Would they keep being in a hiding place? Or will it become the next Independence Day? But they're gonna destroy the world. Who knows? But yeah, that's just kind of how I want to round this up, and I want to know how you feel about this. Like, I will give you what I just said. Like, what if, let's say, in this year or maybe early next year, all of a sudden maybe Trump or maybe like another president, it doesn't matter, or king, queen, like whatever you have in your country, would say like they're real, and you're like, what is this clickbait? And all of a sudden they show them. Like, would it terrify you, or would you be relieved? Would you be like, finally, like they're real? Like all those times when I tried to tell people they were real, and they will now no longer mock me, or are you more terrified of like what's going to happen now? Are things going to advance more? Can we buy our own UFO? So when I put all of this into like the same bag, it's honestly not just about like it's got nothing to do with aliens for me anymore. It's just that we're moving through everything so fast, and I don't think anyone's actually stopping to ask if we should be moving this fast. Only whether we can, and that's the part that actually sits with me, right? Not whether any of it is good or bad, but just that nobody is really asking why.